Hello guys, how are you? Let's study some topics of biology. Let's start with some basics of biology. Let's start with living beings or living organisms. What are living organisms? Living organisms are those which can breathe, respond to stimuli, reproduce, move and have locomotion. Examples of Examples of living organisms are human beings. There are seven characteristics of living organisms. They are nutrition, respiration, movement, excretion, growth, reproduction, and sensitivity. Now let's talk about these seven characteristics. Nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition means taking in of materials for energy, growth, and development. Example: plants require light, water, carbon dioxide, and ions. Animals require organic compounds, ions, and they usually need water. Respiration. Respiration is the chemical reactions in cells that break down nutrient molecules and release energy. Example: glucose and oxygen is converted to carbon dioxide and water. Movement. What is movement? Movement is the action causing a change in of position or place by the organism or a part of it. Example: animals walk, fly, etc. Plants turn leaves plants turn leaves towards the sun. Excretion. Excretion is the removal of waste products of metabolism, toxic materials, and materials in excess of requirements from an organism. Example: breathing out carbon dioxide or urea in urine. Now let's talk about growth. What is growth? Growth is the permanent increase in size or dry mass by increasing cell number or cell size. There are two types of growth in living organisms and growth in non-living organisms. In growth in living organisms occur from inside. That is, they just grow inside. From inside they increase. Their size grows only when their cell size grows, because there are growth of non-living organisms also, like you can say a custom of bulk matter. That is also a type of growth, but it cannot be considered growth. But it cannot be considered growth because it is not coming from inside, it is coming from a combustion of materials. Okay, now let's talk about reproduction. What is reproduction? All living organisms can reproduce. As we know, reproduction makes nearly same kind of organism, because as we know, reproduction are of two types: sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Okay, examples of reproduction are bacterial cells divide, humans have babies, this is a kind of reproduction. Flowering plants produce seeds, this is also a kind of reproduction. Then let's talk about the seventh characteristic: sensitivity. All living organisms can sense. Okay, sense is the ability to detect stimuli in the internal or external environment and make responses. Example: seeing with eyes, leaves, knowing the direction of sunlight and gravity. Now let's talk about cells. What is cell? Cell is the basic structural and functional and biological unit of all living organisms. Cell is the smallest unit of life. There are two types of cells: prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Okay, let's talk about prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells do not have nucleus or membrane bound organelles. Prokaryotic cells have genetic material, but it is not contained within a nucleus. Prokaryotic cells are one-celled or unicellular organisms. Example of prokaryotic cell is bacteria. Now, I just got a term organelle. What is organelle? Organelle means little organ. Okay, nucleus is the control center of the cell. Nucleus contains DNA or genetic material. DNA dictates what the cell is going to do and how it is going to do. Okay, chromatin. Chromatin is the tangled, spread out form of DNA found inside the nuclear membrane. Now let's talk about eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells have nucleus or membrane bound organelles. Examples: sperm cells, muscle cells, cancer cells, stem cells, bone cells. Now let's talk about cell theory. What is cell theory? All living things are made up of one or more cells. Example: bacteria, animal, and plant. Cells come only from the existing cells. All functions of an organism's life occur within cells. Example: respond, grow, reproduce, use energy. Okay. The fourth point about cell theory is all cells contain DNA. Now let's talk about the cell structure and function. Cytology is the branch of science which deals with the structure and function and chemical reactions going inside the cell. Cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Again I repeat, cell was discovered by Robert Hooke. Human beings are complex organisms made up of trillions of cells that vary in their size and structure. Cells are organized into different forms and carry out specific functions. Organisms are made up of organ system. For example, digestive system, excretory system, circulatory system. Each organ system are comprised of organs which work together in a coordinated manner. Liver, stomach, small and large intestine are parts of the digestive system. All organs are made up of tissues. Groups of cells combined together is called tissue. Example: epithelial tissue, smooth muscular tissue. Okay, tissues are made up of cells. Okay, every metabolic activity of the cell is controlled by the nucleus. Cells contain a number of small double membrane bound organelles called mitochondria. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria carries out cellular respiration to generate ATP. Ribosomes are small globular bodies in large numbers inside the cells. Ribosomes are known as the protein factories of the cell. Ribosomes carry out the synthesis of proteins inside the cells. Ribosomes may be free or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum forms an interconnected network of tubules and vesicles and functions to transport proteins through the cells. Golgi apparatus is the system of membranous sacs called cisternae. I again repeat, cisternae. Okay. The purpose of Golgi apparatus is to transport secreted vesicles and form lysosomes. Lysosomes are the suicidal bags of the cell. Lysosomes are the suicidal bags. It's an important term. Suicidal bags of the cell. Lysosomes contain digestive enzymes and perform intracellular digestion. Okay. That's all for today. Please subscribe my channel. Okay, I will keep uploading the forward videos about central dogma of molecular biology and etc. etc. Thank you.